right, good morning everybody. We are getting started on this aluminum build cans project. I'm very excited about this. So yesterday I did a test fire. We were given this antique forge, coal forge and bellows by a supporter, which was amazing and super grateful for that. And I was able to get it up to temperature using an old propane tank to melt aluminum cans, which is really exciting. So that test forge inspired me to create an actual proper propane forge. So that's what I'm going to start working on right now. We are taking this design from the channel The King of Random. I will leave a link to the build video that he uses in this because they explain it way better than I can in this video. But we're just going to build it and fire it up and see how it works. So kind of the idea of this build is they use a steel bucket as the forge itself. It comes with a lid, and basically we're creating an insulating layer so that heat gets trapped in here, doesn't melt the bucket, and yeah, just creates a nice little propane heat source for our forge. The way they did it was with fire bricks, and I believe it's called K-wool, which I have both of those. You can't use just normal bricks on a propane forge or a forge in general because they will explode. But if you get old bricks, then you can. So these were donated to us. They came off a house in Bisbee that I believe she said was built in 1912. So these are perfect to work with. Our first step here is to cut them in half, so that way it doesn't take up as much room in our smelter. I don't know if a forge is technically a smelter. If you know, leave a comment, but we're gonna call it a forge. We're gonna get these cut and put in here, and then we're gonna use the K-wool to kind of fill the gaps. And then from there, we're going to put refractory cement, which I have somewhere, which is basically a cement that they use for furnaces that can withstand super high heat, which is exciting. So we're gonna put this on there and then drill our hole. And fortunately, I have this little Mr. Volcano forge that I've kind of played with a little bit. And so that came with a propane burner. And so what I can do is use that propane burner for both this forge if I'm doing more like blacksmithing, and that same one for the smelter to melt the aluminum. Okay, so I got all of our fire brick cut and kind of stacked in as tight as I can get it. So this is gonna be our insulating layer that keeps that forge nice and hot. Got some K-wool. I'm gonna kind of put that on the bottom and then just kind of cut a few little pieces to tuck in some of these gaps. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with how tight these bricks were able to get. To cut everything, I just used our tile cutter with a diamond blade. That worked really well going all the way around. And then basically, once I got all the sides kind of cut, because that blade's not thick enough to go all the way through the brick, it came in with a diamond sawzall blade, and that kind of cut the rest of the way, and then just a chisel to pop them in half. So yeah, we'll get the K-wool in here and then get some refractory cement and let it dry for a couple days. There we go. So I was given one for refractory cement, and then I bought one. One was black and one was tan, but it's not gonna make a difference in the long run on this. So yeah, we're gonna let this dry for a couple days, and then I gotta drill a hole in here. I still gotta do the top and get that all set up. But yeah, we're coming along. Got just a little bit of refractory cement. I had some left over from our Mr. Volcano forge, so I'm hoping that'll just kind of hold that cable in place. I will probably end up getting another small batch of it to just kind of make that look all the same color and kind of get this all nice and secure, I guess. Yeah, so I gotta let this dry, get our additional refractory cement, and then I can drill our hole for the propane. Okay, we're getting close to wrapping this up. I got just some touch-up refractory cement on this, our hole drilled for our burner, which is nice because I can use it on the forge and on this. So one burner for both. And then got our top refractory cemented up. Just gotta let these dry for a couple days and then do a slow heat. And then, yeah, we're gonna melt some metal. I've been collecting some copper, aluminum. I've got some wires I need to strip for more copper. Been really interesting looking at the property through new eyes of, hey, I can use some of this trash for something. So I'm really excited to start just making a couple ingots to start. All right, here we go. First fire. We're gonna do several small burns on this just to get any and all moisture out of here. This is our first burn with the new forge, and it's melting stuff! Yay! I'm gonna start throwing some aluminum cans in here and just see what happens. So, yeah, exciting. I feel like I should not be getting such the power trip that I'm getting out of this little forge. But, yeah, it's kind of like welding out here off of solar, where I'm harnessing the power of the sun to weld steel. Like, that would get me burned at the stake for most of human history. So, I'm so happy right now. That's really hot. Okay. Welding gloves. Safety, as I say. Not as... Trying not to melt my camera because I've done that. They're just dissolving instantly. So cool. Chunk of solid extruded steel, and it is just disappearing by the second. Okay, so that was a very quick and dramatic moment. The propane tank crucible did not hold up and started leaking into the forge, so I quickly pulled that out and dumped it into our muffin pan here to get some ingots. So yeah, that should be fun to clean out once it cools down. But yeah, we're gonna order some real crucibles because that didn't work. But oh, that's still really hot. Don't kick molten metal. Got a couple ingots. Pretty cool. First molten metal pour went about as well as to be expected. DIY crucible blew out, made a mess of the forge, nearly burnt myself, and had a lot of fun. That right there is our beer can souffles. Look at there. Beautiful. This was such a fun, exhilarating build. There is nothing like taking molten metal and pouring it into things and making other things. It just gives you this upbeat happiness. So I'm so excited to be able to do this now, and really excited to get into some more arts and crafts and tool making and things like that using cast aluminum, sand casting, things along those lines. So if that's something you want to see, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I have a feeling if you made it this far in this video, you enjoy seeing weird metalworking content. So we've got a video queued up for you right now where we take scrap metal, some old pallets, and make some really unique, beautiful furniture. Go check that out. Thank you guys for watching. Go build something cool.